What's up, my dudes? Pinetop in the rain mode. Ho, 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 ho. Let's check this out. This is something that I always wanted to experience right here, but, you know, never really got the chance to. Oh, daddies. Oh, Spency boy. Oh, my God. So, actually experiencing a stock reflex track with a completely different weather mode condition thing going on, you know what I'm saying? This is pretty badass right here. I mean, you just can't lie about it, you know what I mean? And it's like nighttime vibe too. It's like a nighttime rain mode. Bruh, this is just sick right here. So, this is something that needs to be mentioned. By the way, you can still pop off. These jumps are pretty big, daddy. This is something to mention here with the Throwback DLC Reflex tracks, right? You can ride on all of them in the nighttime mode and all of them with the rain mode, including the Sandwick and Sugar Ridge track remakes. So just keep that in mind, you know, even though you're only getting 3 Reflex tracks, you're kind of sort of getting like 6 versions of different Reflex tracks, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of cool. I like that. I definitely like that kind of vibe. This would be something that you would see in like a Reflex remaster. Come on, MX vs. ATV. Where's that Reflex remaster, baby? Come on now. Everybody wants it. Spency boy can't go up the jumps. Track's a little slick. Bruh, we need that Reflex remaster, dude. Like, pronto ASAP Rocky, before you can say Bob's your uncle, we need the Reflex remastered. I apparently can't stay on the motherfucking bike today. I mean, that ain't nothing new with me and Legends, because I never play this game, but, you know. Now you can really see that rain mode falling down. Bro, like, when I come in here and make content on this game, I literally don't even get in here and, like, warm up any. I don't even play the game any, so I'm, like, hopping in after playing, like, hardcore MX simulator for, like, 5 nights in a row or some shit. My brain's, like, used to a totally different kind of dirt bike game. Oh, man, that's funny. But, yeah. Bro, that's kind of cool. I like the visual look of this right here a lot. This looks sick, bro. And it's not really like it's robbing your power too much. I mean, it's making the traction a little bit different, but yeah, it could always feel maybe a little bit more slick, muddy vibed, you know, but I mean, it is nice that you can still hit these jumps and shit. I was kind of worried about that at first. I was thinking you might not even be able to hit the jumps, but you can definitely still do that on a 450. And they've also still been updating this game, like even throughout some of this Throwback DLC stuff they've been doing. You know, they've also been updating physics and changing this and tweaking that, you know what I'm saying? So, definitely something to keep an eye out on with Legends for sure. But, yeah, as far as the clutch boosting, I know they've kind of went a bunch of different directions with it with different updates and stuff, like nerfing it and blah, blah, blah. But really, your clutch in an arcade dirt bike game should only be used for the start or if you're at a complete stop. That's the only time you should even notice it even doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, for real, real talk, that's the only time you should notice any of that. Holy shit. These jumps are big in first person, boys. Alright. Alright. But yeah, you know, a lot of people talk about like, yo, Spence, you can't even get around the track in an arcade dirt bike game. What are you doing? Just go look at some of my MX Sim gameplay, you know, then you'll see what happens in a dirt bike game that I actually care about going fast in. But most of these arcade games, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I'm just playing them, you know, I'm just playing them at random times. I'm not even playing them consistently at all. I don't care how good you are at dirt bike games. If you're hopping in there randomly in a random moto game to make some content on it, like, you're probably going to crash some. Unless it's like the very first Supercross game or some shit. But it's like, you know, I literally don't even play these games at all, bro. The only real arcade dirt bike game that I'm like playing behind the scenes would be like Reflex. That's honestly like the only one that I play like that. All the other ones, I'm really only playing them when I'm making content on them. Obviously, Unleashed and Untamed, I played a lot back in the day, but I was wanting to run some laps on this, just kind of see if we could see a little bit of what that mud deformation is doing. We have the deformation on maximum, but obviously it's just me on the track, so kind of making like, you know, 3 or 4 individual ruts here and there. But yeah, overall, pretty cool, man. I mean, this mud mode on this Pinetop, pretty cool, dog. This is definitely something worth checking out if you haven't already. Especially if you have the track pass and stuff. You need to come in here and try out Pinetop in the rain mode, dude. This is cool. Kind of got like a, you know, almost like a Washougali type vibe. But like a, you know, Seattle rainy Washougali kind of track sort of vibe to it. It's like really cool vibes on this right here. Really cool vibes on this. Be fun doing like a mudder, like a 20-lap mudder race on this shit. Like multiplayer. I could see that being like really fun to do. But yeah, I think that's a big thing with these MX vs. ATV games that they haven't really been able to figure out for a minute now is the momentum system of the games. It's basically been the problem ever since they went from Reflex. You know, they got away from Reflex. Whoo! That seems a lot harder to judge, getting right down the downside of that tiny little landing area right there. Seems like when you're actually playing this track on Reflex, it's like you're basically just on the gas and you're going to land that like perfect. This has got a little bit more of a timing element to it with the, you know, with the clutch boosting and the momentum system of Legends and the mud mode turned on. It's definitely got a lot more of a timing element. That's cool. Kind of kickered out that jump face a little bit. The deformation definitely forming. And see, it's not so bad on a track like this when it's not trying to be a sand track, because you kind of expect that deformation to be a little bit more sturdy like this. Maybe not so much in the mud mode, but it's not bad though. I mean, I can tell you right now, the deformation makes a lot more sense on a track like this than it does like on Sandwick or like, you know, one of their sand tracks. Makes way more sense on something like this. So yeah, either way, but guys, I just wanted to show off this rain mode on Pinetop. Thought it was a really cool thing. A deformation just slowly scooting me off of the track right there, or I can't hit the jump. It is interesting how they made this section right here. It's like similar to Reflexes, but like obviously not exact, you know? It's just tough, man. I mean, when you're trying to make like track remakes, it's just tough. There ain't nothing else to say about it, really. Really tough to get it like the original game actually was, especially when you get to those real iconic sections like that. I mean, I still feel like they did about the best job they could have done with this track right here, but it's just tough. I mean, there ain't no other way to say it. There ain't no other way to do it. Like, this corner you can actually cut up pretty tight right here and still hit just fine. Whoa, deformation fucked me up a little right on the face. Alright. I'm kind of learning a little bit of the, just playing right here. You could tell I'm learning just how to prevent that weird little janky little pop-off animation where it kind of looks like you're going to pop off and then you fully pop off. There's like little leaning techniques you can do like right on the landing of jumps in this, where it's like you either lean forward real quick or you lean back real quick, like right before you land off a bigger jump. That seems to help with that just a little bit. Kind of funny though that you even have to be like that much on your toes on the landings of some of these bigger jumps. I just wouldn't even expect it really like in a arcade dirt bike game, you know what I'm saying? But I love this dynamic weather shit. This is really cool. Goes back and forth from that like crazy looking shit. This is cool, bro. And not only does it sit there and cycle between the rain mode, but it also is like totally changing the sky. Like you're literally going from like full-blown daytime to what looks like a nighttime track. Good God, that jump felt big in first person. Holy. It's almost like you can come off that, like that jump face right there is not, it's not real like level across it, you know? So it's almost like you can jump like to the left side of that jump face going down the hill, and it almost feels like you can cut off a bunch of the, like jumping up in the air. You know what I mean? Neither one of those jump faces coming down that hill feel like they're real, like, they feel kind of like almost rolled, but also not like perfectly built, so you can really play with where you're actually hitting the jump face. But yeah, man. This is Pinetop with the rain mode. That would have been fucking kick-ass if they actually had a rain mode back in the original Reflex on all those stock tracks. If they ever make a Reflex remastered, that would be really cool for them to slap some sort of a rain mode, or even just like a mud version of all the tracks or something. That doesn't seem like that would be too hard for them to do something like that. You know, if they make a Reflex remastered, there's a few things they could add to it. Obviously, you don't want to change the gameplay any. Obviously, that's the one thing you don't want to touch, but you could certainly add some little things like mud versions of tracks, or nighttime versions of tracks, or a better in-game track editor. You know, there's all kinds of little things you could do. But so far, man, this Pinetop particularly, whether you're playing on it in the dry mode or the rain mode or however you're riding on it, bro, it's pretty sick on Legends. I mean, I know Legends is not everybody's cup of tea, Turley tea sipping tea, but this is pretty cool no matter what kind of fucking moto gaming fan you are. Like, Pinetop's always going to be kick-ass. I don't care what game it's in or how you're playing it. And also, just being able to experience a rain mode on Pinetop is kick-ass too. Like, no matter how you slice that apple, you know, it's pretty sick, bro. So yeah, man. Here we go again. You gotta do something about that crash animation, MX vs. ATV. That's a little bizarre for an arcade dirt bike game. You still want to be able to pop off, but not... I don't know. It's just weird feeling right now on Legends. But either way, man, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. I'll see y'all boys on that next one later, dudes.